Hey, welcome to the 24/7 Marriage Podcast. I'm Shannon, here with my host.
Javier.
Welcome, Javier.
We are glad that you are here. So if you're watching this, you're gonna see that Shan is.
We're at a business expo, and we're giving away free pens and T-shirts if you stop by our table.
You'll see we're in a temporary kind of setup, so it's not the beauty of what we want and all the aesthetics and so forth, but it's just a transitional thing for the podcast.
You just went down a notch on a lot of men's list.
Why?
Your beauty and aesthetic.
No, I'm sorry. I don't care. I could
No,
give it
it's
less.
important to
I
you.
go down a notch because I said there's aesthetics.
No,
because there's men who don't want things to look nice.
I think that generally men don't care. So they're like, oh my gosh,
that's
Javier.
A generalization, and I don't accept it. So I think a lot of men do care, because if you look at their garages and their space, they care what it looks like. They care that it's put together.
But if they were doing a podcast, they'd be like, whatever. They wouldn't.
That's not true, because there's so many people who do podcasts that are men that they care about the space that they're in.
Because they have other people who are
either way. What I'm saying is it's not.
Like.
It doesn't necessarily represent everything.
I have a question for you. There. Moving on. Why was there dish soap in the bathroom this morning? Why do you have the Dawn dish soap in the bathroom?
Why do we need to talk about that? We live in the marriage life still, currently.
What does that have to do with anything?
We have a black tank in an RV, and I needed to put that and some borax into the tank.
You get to the tank in the bathroom?
Where do you think it all goes?
No. Well, I know.
Okay.
Like, wait.
That is a whole other discussion.
No.
It's not for right now.
Did you put Dawn dish soap down the toilet?
Gosh. Yes, Shan. It's not for right now, the discussion. It's probably for later. I'll explain it to you.
No, I get it. I just thought you were washing your hands with Dawn dish soap in the bathroom. And I was like, that was super weird.
Okay. All right.
Were you like playing with oil and you needed to get something off your hands? I was just asking. I was just curious. That's all.
Gosh. I don't even know where to go with this. Because that was such a hard right. Like, you just took a hard turn.
I didn't. If anybody takes hard turns, they're you.
So I don't need to explain tanks and this and that and the why on the podcast.
No, you don't.
We can unpack it later.
I just wanted to know why there was Dawn dish soap in the bathroom, because I've never seen a bottle of dish soap in our bathroom.
Okay, I'm going to go and you finish the...
It was just a question of banter.
So...
You are horrible at bantering with me.
Well, there's banter, and there's like, you really want to talk about the black tank in an RV right now.
No, you just need to say it was for the black tank.
I did, and you're like, then you start asking more questions. Well, it's connected. You get to that way.
I did. Okay, in 4 years, I've never seen you take dish soap into the bathroom and.
I have. I just left it in there by.
I know. That's all. So I was just curious. I was
I was washing my beard, Shannon, with Dawn dish soap.
Usually, if you're using Dawn dish soap on your hands, there's something really grimy. You were working on the truck, so I was like, maybe he had like some serious grime on his hands. I'll stop talking.
Okay, so we're gonna move forward and transition at some point.
I'm so uncomfy.
So what I was.
Whoa.
We talked about the podcast, just kind of where things are at. But if you haven't been listening to the podcast,
where are things at? What does that mean?
That we're in the process of rebranding. We're in the process of launching a rebranded new look of a podcast, and so you'll be seeing that here soon, probably towards the summer. We're going to take a little bit of break here in the summer, just to catch our breath, and
we always do. Because we're going into season 6.
Yeah, get new podcast structure and everything set up. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah. Silence. This is where we need the crickets.
No.
We have it. I just can't go over there and do it right now.
Apparently, if I bring up a banter question, I might get...
It wasn't banter.
I take hard rights.
Took a hard right. Chad, what is in relation to what we're going to talk about?
I think this is I do know what we're talking about.
This is kind of more of a lighthearted fun, but I think also also important topic as we prepare for the summer, as you as a family prepare for your summer. And maybe you've already done that preparation because you're planners, you got ahead of it, which is awesome.
Maybe they downloaded in January we had a new download come out called our 24/7 marriage planner.
Maybe.
And maybe you already did that 1 day or 2 day retreat with your spouse. and you planned out your whole year.
Yeah, maybe. And some don't because they just like, okay, summer's going to happen and we just kind of take it as it is and we try to figure things out and what we're going to do.
You can't.
I know,
That's
but
a recipe for
especially
disaster.
with kids and all that, you got to figure things out. But I was trying to think about was there any like most memorable trips that we took, vacations with the kids or trips? Vacations with kids don't exist. That's not.
It's called a trip.
Let's be clear. A vacation
Trips are with kids,
is you
vacations
and
are
your
with
spouse
spouses.
alone, or maybe there's a couple that you enjoy time with to go unplug, disconnect.
There's people who are like,
but with
listening right
with
now.
an actual like with the kids and going somewhere or being like an Airbnb where you still have to cook and clean and do stuff like that. That's a trip.
That's freaking camping.
That's
too.
A trip.
You're literally taking everything that was inside a house outside.
That's awesome. That part I love. I won't fight on that. No.
Let me take everything that conventionally I have in my nice air-conditioned home and stick it outside and do the same thing I would do inside outside. This is so fun.
It is. I'm about to go do that. Even though we live in the marriage lab and we've been across the country and doing what we're doing, I get to go sleep in the tent and cook outdoors and all that. Like that I'm not sure I'll come back.
Great. That would be awesome.
It's crossed my mind.
Okay, you asked me a question.
Yeah.
You thought about not coming back?
I thought about that, at least for a little bit. Can I stay longer?
All of a sudden, I'm doing the podcast by myself. Well, it's day 39 and he still hasn't returned. I'm doing
it from the woods, but while I'm being chased by a bear.
Javier. Make it very clear to everybody listening and watching that if you didn't come back, it wasn't because of me.
No.
It's because you're trying to run away from yourself.
No. I just really need the time.
And it's not because of me.
I think I'm going to go right now.
You said that 3 podcasts ago.
I'm feeling it. It's hitting me right now. Okay. Sweet Moses. So
okay, back to you asked me a question. Can I answer it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Has there been one that's been your favorite, or a trip that was your favorite?
I loved Hawaii with the girls, but we've gone at several different stages of their life. Probably when they were babies was the more fun one. Michaela kind of made the last trip when they were a teenager miserable.
Yeah,
but honestly, I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth. But the camping trips that we did at the beach, those were really fun memories where you set up that giant tent and the girls had one side of the tent with their bed and you and I had one side, and just all the tiny memories of.
We kind of did it every
every fall.
October.
Yeah.
Because the weather on the coast there was better. It's better
in October,
November, December. Like it's better than the summer actually. And but do you remember the one time we had a tent set up and it wasn't windy? And it stayed down really well. And we came back from going into town.
It was flat as a pancake.
Just some windstorm came in and it snapped the actual tent poles. And the thing was laying flat. And because we're literally on the sand,
it was
the
covered
wind
in
was
sand.
blowing over the dunes and just straight into the tent. And the screens were down the screen, so inside was exposed. So the inside was full of sand everywhere.
So we made the decision. We put the girls in the car and we drove home. And we got, I remember calling Sharky's and placing an order for dinner. I'm like, we're going home. But most of the time, I loved waking up in the morning when the girls were really little and coloring in their coloring books, getting on their bathing suits, playing in the sand, digging for sand crabs, playing in the water, eating out, staying up around the fire, making s'mores. Like all of it is like the sweetest memories. So for me, I like to remind parents the best memories I have of raising our girls have nothing to do with how much money we spent in that season or anything.
Yeah.
It had to do with quality time. And I'm also married to a man who loves the outdoors and who does a great job of caretaking and setting up camp. Like it's amazing. Like we have AstroTurf going into our tent. There's like, we're so well taken care of that we're kind of spoiled.
You had a bathroom.
I did. I had my own bathroom.
Yeah, and all that you needed.
So if the girls had to pee in the middle of the night, I wasn't worried about like raccoons and who was out there with a flashlight.
Who was out there?
Well, the animals.
Yeah, a lot of wild animals on the beach.
There are.
Tons. Yep.
And we could just go to our little tent.
Seagulls get crazy. Seals come attack you at night. Yeah.
The raccoons, Javi.
So what we wanted to chat about a little bit is
wait, what was your favorite vacation?
I think it's those we went to Cambria a lot, and I think
Cambria.
just time on the coast. And it wasn't just about the beach; that area just was great. Yeah, being on the beach and just finding rocks with the girls, going to the tide pools, that kind of stuff. Yeah. We did that often with them.
I remember one year taking them to Palm Springs, and a big wildfire broke out in Palm Springs, and the resort we were staying at shut down the pool. And the girls were so disappointed. But the room that we were staying in had a very, very large bathtub. And we filled it with water, and we blew up their inner tubes, and we let them play in the bathtub. And we ordered pizza in, and we watched a movie. And it was...
I'm nodding as if I remember, but sadly I don't.
Aww.
I think I kind of remember.
And it was they thought that was so funny that we would let them put their inner tubes in the bathtub. And we had a great time, because it was like, we can't go outside because can't breathe and you can't see anything. But
so I think this is like this leads into like, as we talk about, and the thing it's important, I think, within your marriage, because it can cause frustration. It can cause a little bit of chaos and even disconnection. That, like, what are your plans? Like, what's the summer of your marriage look like? Because here's the thing, like, your marriage doesn't take time off in the summer or in the fall or in the winter or in the spring. Like you as a couple, there's not moments where, we're just going to put us on hold. We're not going to invest. We're not going to take time for one another. We're putting all our date nights on hold for 3 months in the summer. Like, no, and no. On. So what we're telling you is that it's not like marriage still continues. So how do you do that within the chaos of summer and just activities, and kids want to go to the pool, and you're going on this trip and all the things that take place? Like, what what are you building? Maybe for some of you it's new and the kids are young. Some of you, the kids are out and you're still want to do stuff with them or plan some trips with the kids. And so what are you doing to intentionally be able to be ready to prepare for that, to plan, but also at the same time to ensure you're investing in one another?
Well, I'm going to quote you, and that you say that nothing great is going to happen in your marriage accidentally. It's not just you're not going to be like waking up and like, oh my gosh, the communication between us is amazing, and we haven't done any work towards building communication. Like, nothing accidental is going to happen that's going to make your marriage great. So it's intentionality. So if you didn't do our marriage planner in January, this would be a good time to take maybe a breakfast date with your spouse, a late night in the backyard after the kids have gone to bed, and literally get out a calendar or just a notebook and a piece of paper and be like, okay, this is what we have going on from June to August. So-and-so is getting married. There's a baseball tournament we have to be at, or this is going on, or we have this event, or you have this work trip. Like, lay everything out and then be intentional about, what do you and I want to do? Like, if going away is not in your budget, or your kids are really little and you're just not comfortable, it's like, what 3 dates are we going to take? Like, what are we going to plan if they're day dates or whatever? If we are going to go away, where do we want to go, and how are we going to start planning that now? Where do we want to go as just a couple? Where do we want to go as a family? How are we intentionally going to spend time together while we're in this season of the kids are off of school and everybody's maybe under one roof, what that looks like?
Well, there's still time to work through all of that. And what I'm saying is, like, if you don't plan, like, then it's going to get away from you.
Just kind of take
and here's
over.
The thing, and I don't mean it to be sobering. We're already past this stage, and so it's just a new season for us. But for those of you who have kids or have young kids, you recognize you only have roughly
18 summers.
18 summers with them.
And they go,
that's crazy.
Fast.
18, only 18.
It's not a
Like,
lot.
you think that's like, oh, that's plenty
Yeah,
of time.
plenty of
That's
time.
18 years. Like, but it's 18 summers. And I'm not saying you can't. We didn't do often a lot during the summer because we did it when people weren't
Well,
traveling and on
we were a
vacation.
homeschool family,
So
so
we
we
did
were,
it before, we did it
yeah,
after, and they would do a lot of fun stuff during the summer. But we try to do it around because we didn't like crowds. So
fall and
I'm
spring.
saying what works. So what we're encouraging you is like take a moment, like Shannon just said. Maybe if you haven't done the planner, do that. But look at your summer as you move ahead, and that will challenge you to also look at your fall. And what does it look like? Are there some trips you're going to take with a family? Are there some vacations you're going to take with your spouse?
Is there some things that you have
What is it?
already committed to that
Yeah,
have to be are stuck on the calendar?
yeah, and daily rhythms. What are they going to look like for you? And recognize it's going to be a little bit crazy and chaotic. We have this going on, or this happening. We're going to travel here for this party, whatever it may be. What does it look like so that you can be intentional? Like I haven't always done well with this. Like I think about um, like even now, like I would love to do a trip with all our kids on a yearly basis now with our grandson. But we got to figure that out. Like, do we do it in the summer? Do we do it on the tail end or early fall? And that's kind of our time. And where, like,
And what works for their schedules because they
yeah.
all work now.
So I want you to build something that will create intentionality and yes memories and just connection, something you all look forward to. Maybe that is an annual thing that you do, but right now in the summer I want you to think through like where are we at and like how do we begin to structure what it could look like here coming up in the remainder of June, July, August, even into September. And what do we want to be part of? Where do we want to go? Because here's the thing, like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so if you're not intentional about some of this right now, and the thing is, then through all of that, what are you doing to actually factor in the time that you're going to have for you and your spouse? Just the moments of connection that even in the busyness, you're still staying connected. You're still spending time together. And it might look a little different because you might be on a trip and then you're going to go for a walk before the kids are up together. You're going to go sit out on the porch or the lanai or in the campground, wherever it may be, and we're going to have a cup of coffee and we're going to tell the kids, hey, we're going to spend a few minutes together. So do what you need to do.
I think one of the parts about camping that I loved was when the girls were really little, they would get wiped out. I would shower them, we would feed them, they'd have their s'mores, and I would put them to bed. And then you and I would sit out by the campfire and just talk and just spend time together. We weren't on our phones, we weren't watching TV, we're just spending time together. And for me, that was just like a decompression. Like that was a busy day. That was crazy. That was a lot of fun. But now I just get to be Javier's wife
Yeah.
and I just get to sit here
Yeah.
and just talk,
Yeah.
shoot the breeze, maybe eat more snacks because, calories don't count on vacation.
Correct.
This is a true fact. You heard it here first. And for me, it's just those moments of where you and I can, even today, and our kids are gone. When we're around a lot of people, I'll be like, "Can we go now?
Yes, all the
can we
time.
go? Are you ready to go home?"
We're hanging out with our kids and our grandson. Like, seriously?
I don't tap out that early with him, but sometimes I'll be like, "Okay, I'm ready to be alone with you because I need to decompress and just be Javier's wife."
But then you go home and you go to your room to do your Bible study and all that. So
then you should have left earlier. That's what I'm saying.
I do want to talk about something that I think is important. That's important about all of this.
That's funny.
As well is if you're in a season of life where your kids are older and now they have their families, right? They may have just their spouse and that's a family, and then now they've maybe they've got kids. I know that you're grandkids and you're family and you want to do these things together, but also recognize that they have their family. And there may be some things that they want to do or some things that they choose to do that may or may not include you, or maybe it does. But also, it's not just you like, hey, we all need to do this. Like, we're going to do this. And if you don't come and you're guilt tripping them because we're family, we have to do this together. It's not, no, they have their family. That is their family.
You're stepping on toes now.
And this is, they get to do what they desire to do, what's good for their family, and set up maybe three of us, or the four of us, whatever, how many there is in their family, we go and we do this trip together just as a family. Like there's times we go with other people, but oftentimes we just want to do this as a family.
Yeah.
Because it's our time of just connection.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That is healthy and that is good. And if you do something like, hey, we're doing this and this is where we're going to be, we'd love for you guys to come. That's up to you. If you don't, we're not going to be hurt because we know you have a family and you got things going on. But we'd love for you to join us if you want to join us. And they may not, but you may plan another trip and you all get to do that together because you all know we do this trip together every year.
Yeah.
Or a trip or whatever it may be. And so just recognizing the dynamics that as you're planning for your summer and your fall and all these things that respect one another and the families, and especially if your kids are, of course, out of the house. Now, if they're in the house and they're little, they don't have a choice. They're going with you. Like they don't get a choice. But you might have grandparents, right? Your parents or in-laws who are really strong about like, well, we're coming and this is the date that we're coming and you need to make yourself available, or we're going to be doing this and you need to come because we need to spend time as a family.
No.
Like, no, and
you
no.
need to be asking.
You have your family.
And you don't just assume.
And don't just assume.
Well, there's an enmeshment and there's separation that a lot of moms and dads have not accepted. And they believe that, once their kids get married, that's just their family just grew. And it did get bigger. Yes, you now have a son-in-law. Now you have a daughter-in-law, all that. But they're their own family. And they're setting up the rhythms of their life.
Yeah.
And they're making memories and traditions for them. We're watching McKenna and Freddie do this with Phoenix. They're like creating and doing things as a family. And it's sweet to watch. And if we get asked, they're like, hey, you guys want to come? We're like, yeah, that would be great. Like,
and I can't say that if they're doing something fun and we don't get to go, that I'm bummed. I am, truthfully, because I would love to always hang out with them, and I would love to hang out with our daughter and her boyfriend. Like, I would love to do those things, but I also know that it's important that they have family time, because we raised them that way. Yeah. And I can't complain about
how
I raised them, and that it is good and healthy for them.
Yeah.
And
so I'm grateful for the times that they want to spend with us. Our kids really, really enjoy hanging out with us. They really enjoy our friendship. I think that's a huge blessing. I know a lot of parents who don't get that. So anytime that we can spend and they invite us somewhere, I'm like, yes, like I love it and I'm grateful. But I'm also cheering them on when they're like, we're going to go do this and this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, good, go do it. Like, have fun. That's exciting. You're making memories. I'm proud of them for leading that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So this is and we'll probably do a shorter podcast here. This is a little bit of a lighter topic, but I think it's important because if you don't plan way,
but we're giving them an action that we want you to take. Whether you take a breakfast date with your spouse, or you take an hour or so with your spouse and say, let's look at June through August.
Maybe we didn't do it, so let's do it now.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this. And what does it look like? Is there a trip we can still squeeze in, or something we can do, or we're going to do 5 or 6 like day trips instead this year because we didn't plan it, and now everything's booked and everything's more expensive. Whatever it may be. But you can do something.
Yeah.
Even if it's like getting away and going camping in the first come, first serve place and going up there and it's crazy, but you figure it out. This is stuff that I remember all the trips that, were to like Yosemite and that were camping, and it wasn't all the big stuff, right? With yes, kids like to stay in hotels sometimes and all it's fun for them, but I don't remember those as much as I remember these experiences and just being with family or friends and being out. Like where I'm going here in in just a bit is
in a couple minutes.
In a couple minutes, I'm done with the podcast. I'm out of here. I mean, by the time this airs, I think I'm going to be already on my way or already there.
Oh, you are.
And so, if you don't see me back for a while, that could be why.
Sweet. I've always wanted to have my own podcast.
Where I'm going is where I've been going for like 40 plus years of my life. Since I was a kid with my grandpa and with other people and friends. And then it's just progressed to an annual trip with, dad and cousins and uncles and those who can make it. And this year is going to be a smaller group. But like, we're talking to stuff you do with your family, but also if there's moments in the summer where you get to do something that's self-care and that fills your bucket. I want to encourage you to do that also. Like you and your spouse should know what fills your bucket, what drains your bucket, what you need. Shan has a friend, well, it's all our friends, like, lifetime, lifelong friends. But I'm trying to, like, our friend Carrie's coming into town, our friend. But Shan, we're gonna hang out, but like Shannon gets, to hang out with her and spend some alone time as well, and that fills her bucket. And then she's going to go to Colorado, and she's going to have time with another friend here shortly thereafter, very quickly here, and she's going to go and spend time, and that for her is refreshing, right? She'll be in Colorado, and and I'm going to get to do that time, and and there might be more, but that's okay. That's good. It's not like, oh well, we need to, like, it's a summer, we need to be doing everything together. Like, I get with kids, it might be a little bit different, but if your husband wants to go away for 2-3 days to a fishing trip or something, and it fills his soul, and he comes back refreshed and a better man and husband, and like, well, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
If your wife needs some time to go connect with girlfriends and hang out, that's okay. We're not talking about she's going to be gone for 2 weeks.
No.
And during that time, you plan something fun with the kids.
Well, as the girls
make it work.
Yeah, as the girls got older, and you still had this annual fishing trip, that was my week with the girls to do some fun things.
Yeah.
So I planned fun things for the three of us to do. And that's another great memory. It's not all of us, but I was like, okay, Dad's going to be gone. Okay, what are we going to do? What kind of trouble are we going to get into? Fun things that we got to do just as mom and daughters.
Yeah. So I would just encourage you, as we wrap up this podcast, a shorter episode, I would just tell you, make the plans, jump into it. And maybe from this, you learn for next year. We're going to plan ahead. We're going to prepare. We're going to be ready for our summer. Because there's a way for the kids to get excited about how we're going to be going here, and then we're going to do this, and it's going to look like this, and they have these sweet memories and things to look forward to as well as they plan and prepare for that, and things that they're going to carry with them. And again, it doesn't have to be extravagant, it doesn't have to be big. Just connect, be present, and enjoy. And through all this, remember to consistently invest in and work in your marriage, and take the time to with your spouse, to hang out, to do things together, to enjoy time. Don't put it on hold or on pause because things are just chaotic or busy, because they always will be. They always will be, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you for being part of the 24/7 Marriage family. There's tons of stuff. If you have not been joined the 24/7 Marriage membership, the family, the community, I want to invite you to do that.
Yep.
I think there's links on Instagram, probably in this page as well, that you can go to. And I don't know all the stuff, so I'm just going. But community is so essential, and resourcing and supporting you. And we invest so much money in other areas. Not invest, I'm sorry. We dump money into areas like Netflix and Starbucks and other subscriptions we have that's not pouring into our lives per se. You're entertained, but are you educated, prepared? Are you supported and resourced to have a thriving marriage that at the end of the day is the most important thing? And so make sure you're part of that. Join, subscribe to that.
We also are on YouTube, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button, so that little bell will ring every time there's a new episode. So if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, yes, you can go to YouTube and watch all of our podcasts there.
So always remember, in marriage, you don't have to.
You get to.
Have an incredible week.
Bye.
The 24/7 Marriage Podcast. Help us expand our reach by rating and leaving us a review on iTunes. Make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. For more information on the work we do and how to support the 24/7 Marriage, head on over to 247marriage.org and click on Partner with Us. Until next week, remember, in marriage, you don't have to. You get to.